Hello, my name is James. Do you want to learn English free online? Or are you a teacher of English as a second language looking for free resources for your students? Then you've come to the right place. This is Top20English.com. Top20English.com is a curated, that is hand-selected, and free internet directory for what we think are the best resources, that is videos and websites for learning English as a second language. We actually go out and look at the websites and choose which we think are the best 20 websites for not only learning English, but we also have subdirectories for such things as learning the alphabet and phonics, a subdirectory for learning vocabulary, directories for learning listening and conversation and grammar. We have a separate directory for what we think are the best free, that is online courses for learning English as a second language. We have a separate directory for testing. We also have our own program for learning the first 200 words of English online. And we do this using images and Google Translate, such that very little instruction is needed. This is 10 words a day for 3 weeks it would be. And we think that this is the best foundation, learning these 200 words for learning English as a second language. One of the problems that we're trying to address is that of information overload. We think that a hand-selected directory, that is a curated directory, provides better information than the search engines in many topics. This is a way of addressing the problem of information overload. We actually think that in many of the areas, such as education, our curated directory provides better information than the algorithms and the artificial intelligence used by the search engines. Global education is also one of the major issues of our time. At Top20Education.com, we do all the high school topics and all the college topics, and we've even put the first years of medical school online at Top20Medicalschool.com. We also do 12 languages, but we focus a lot on Top 20 English because learning English is the gateway to all of the world-class free educational materials online. Because we have a global perspective, all the materials on our websites are free. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, but I'm also the founder of Top20.com, which is a curated general internet directory with a network of over 800 websites. I encourage you to try Top20.com as your homepage. I also encourage you to bookmark Top20English.com and to follow us on Facebook at Top20English. I'm now going to put up a screenshot of Top20English.com and help you navigate the website where you can find all the free internet resources we've aggregated there to help you to learn English as a second language. This is a screenshot of Top20.com, which is a general curated internet directory with 800 active websites, a network of curated websites, most of which are Top 20 websites. But we focus on global education, and here in the upper right-hand column, you click on education, and this will bring you to our education sites, and you can see as you scroll down that we do all the high school topics, all the college topics, and we even have put the first 2 years of medical school online with curated videos. Under these categories, we have languages here on the left-hand column. We click on languages. This will take you to our general language sites we recommend, but then we also do 12 different languages, and here on the first column is English, and this brings you to Top 20 English, which is our topic today. The better way to get to this site probably is put in Top20English.com and then bookmark it. So that's what I'd recommend, but you can also get to it through our general internet directory. So when you look at Top20English.com, you see that in our first column of our recommended links here is for those who are just getting started on learning English as a second language. This is for beginners. And for beginners, we recommend that you learn alphabet and just some phonics and words to begin with. So we have a whole directory here as our first link. We click on that. It takes us to our English blog. And here you can see that we've started by recommending 5 different sites that are just learning ABC songs, which is the way children begin to learn their alphabet. And then the next group is 5 different links for just learning the alphabet A to Z. And come down, this is how you might learn the alphabet for the keyboard for typing. And then next, the group of 5 links we have are for learning 3-letter words, which is a good way to begin to learn phonics. And then we have a whole section on learning phonics, such as the 1 and 2 vowel rules for learning phonics. We have 5 sites for phonics, and then following that, we have 2 sites for sight words. All the Words cannot be learned through phonics. You have to learn some that break the rules and are just have to learn as sight words. And these are the 100 words that you can begin to learn for sight words. And if we finish this up, we have simple sentences. We have 3 sites to learn simple sentences. And if we come back to the main top20english.com site, you can see here on the first column that the next link here is first 200 words. This is our own program that we've put together for learning the first 200 words in English, your first 200 words. And we have this broken down into 3 different parts. First is Quizlet, which is a flashcard site that we teach the first 200 words using images. And then the second part of this is we take those same 200 words and put them in a word list. So this would be the word list of the first 200 sites. And you see we broke them down into nouns, and then we come down to pronouns and go to verbs. But here what you can do is you can copy 5 or 10 of these at one time, go up here to Google Translate, put the words over here, then Google will translate this into about 103 different languages. And the purpose of this is that what you can do now is learn through images and translation, such that a self-motivated student can do this pretty much on their own with very little instruction. Now, the third part of this is that we put these into sentences. So we take these same 200 words and put them into sentences such as this. And this is the same sentences we use under the Quizlet site. And you can copy these also, copy 5 or 10 of these at a time, put them into Google Translate, and it'll translate them into your native language, 103 different native languages. And so now you're learning again through images and translation, and it can be done through just self-motivation with a little bit of instruction. Now, if you do 10 words a day for 3 weeks, you will cover the first 200 words, and these are the 200 words that are most common in the English language. And what we do under the word site, under the first 200 words, is we extend that down to 500 words if you want to extend your list of words out to 500 words. And as we come back to a Top 20 English site, you'll see that we, on the first column, which is for beginners, the next thing we recommend is Duolingo, which is perhaps the most popular full course for learning a language, learning English second language, and that can be used concurrently with other methods of learning a language. And then we also recommend Elf Videos, English Sing Sing, Talk English bilingual resources for the beginners. And then down at the bottom, we have a whole directory on vocabulary. And we've broken down the vocabulary into the 8 parts of speech, such that when you go to nouns, we incorporate not just the vocabulary for nouns, but English grammar for nouns. We list the whole sites that we recommend for learning English grammar with nouns. And then the vocabulary, you can see that we start listing the nouns for the 28 nouns that are used in the first 200 words that we recommend. Then we also extend that down to 500 words, such you can build out your vocabulary to find the first 500 common words. And we do that for each of the parts of speech. Then here we also recommend sites for learning vocabulary. Learning chocolate, for example, is what we think is the best picture dictionary. Learning English vocabulary through Elf Kids videos is done through videos. English Guy is another site we recommend highly for learning the different, extending out your vocabulary. And then we have other sites also as very useful sites for learning other resources for learning vocabulary. So when you come back to the main site, the first column here is for beginners, but then we do this, the other sites are for intermediate and advanced learners. And here we have, we'll go through these. We have directories for listening. We have directories for all the English second language free courses on the internet, and they're very good. And then we have English grammar. We have a whole site for learning English grammar. And again, these are the best sites we recommend for learning English grammar. And again, we break it down into 8 parts of speech with the grammar sections for each of those parts of speech as well. Then coming down further, we have a directory for translators, a directory for bilingual dictionaries, a directory for English flashcards, one for test options, and then for more advanced students, we have one for video conversations and a whole directory for pronunciation. In the middle section, we recommend those full courses for learning English as a second language from the British Council, Voice of America. TED Talks we recommend because they use closed captions and they do it in multiple different languages for learning. elo.org, BBC Learning English, and Engvid videos. And on the other column, we have Larry Fazio's best list for learning English second language, YouTube learning English second language videos, English and Learning English Lab. We think are the best, some of the best videos on YouTube that have playlists. And Learning English Online is a great resource, as is English Guide. At the bottom, we have our own top 20 composition, top 20 writing websites as well. And at the bottom of the page, we list the videos we think are good for learning English, beginning with beginners at the top. And at the bottom, we have videos for learning fluency in English. On the left-hand column, we have directories for organizations and blogs, grammar, irregular verbs, and idioms. Then on the right-hand column, we have also directories for studying abroad, student exchanges, teaching English as a second language, a directory for ESL tests, and tutors, as well as some other references. At the bottom of the page, we have a navigation guide for Top 20 English, and here we just give some advice as to how to use Google Translate. Bing Translate is also very good. It's a little bit slower, but it only does about 60 languages, where Google Translate does almost 100 or more than 100 languages. We have advice on how to use closed captions and advice on how to slow down or speed up a YouTube video. And that's all useful information. And finally, we recommend that you begin with the end in mind. That is, the objective should be to learn to speak and be conversant in the language rather than just to study a language, and then to be proactive towards that objective. Top 20 English is a aggregated site for learning English as a second language. We put together what we think are the best websites and the best videos for learning English. The important thing here is that learning English is a gateway to all the other world-class educational materials on the internet. And at Top 20 English and Top 20 English Education, we've done all the high school topics and all the college topics, again, aggregating what we think are the best videos and websites for that particular topic. We have a Top 20 English page on Facebook. And in just several months, we have 300,000 likes on that page on Facebook. So we hope this will all be helpful for you in your endeavors to learn English as a second language, and we hope to be able to update this on a regular basis and also do some videos also on each of these subdirectories and create a playlist for learning English as well. So we appreciate you giving this a try, and we'll see you soon.